Right now, you should.
Did I just make you the co-host? Okay, good. Yeah. Thought I accidentally made Tim the co-host. Tim, you're welcome to co-host if you'd like. Just raise your hand. Let me know.
You gotta take the phone.
Yes.
It's doing it again, Lynn. When I click slideshow, and I've just been rolling through it this way because we've had this issue. Okay, so it's sharing. Let's see. Then when I go here, it says screen sharing is paused. When I try to resume share,
This last time it didn't.
so I'm just gonna click through it like this. It works fine.
We'll figure it out.
Not to my knowledge. Got it on the slideshow. Yeah. Put this down just so it bothers me. All right. Let's get rolling. Love the energy. I hope the Zoomers feel the energy as much as I do here. Rich, hey Rich, do you want to summon folks in? It's almost as bad as the bold room, right? Just start. All right, everybody. Well, welcome. to March. It's crazy. I feel like the early spring, I had a friend the other day who said that early spring was his favorite season of the year. And like, when he said it was all brown and gray. There's like the hopefulness, the buds are coming. The shamrock shakes, green beer is on the horizon. It's a fun time of year. So thank you for coming out. As is always true, we have a very full meeting today, which is fortunately going to feature less of me and more of a handful of you sharing. So that's always good news. As we get started, it's always good to return to our belief system. Let me move this out of the way. These are our predetermined ways that we do business with one another and the way we relate to one another. So I'd love to hear from 2, 3, 4 of you. One of these in action. Where have you seen someone display one of these traits in the last month, in the last several weeks? I'll get started as you guys all think about that. Communication, seek first to understand. I need to tip my hat to Miss Cassandra, who has stepped into the role nobly in the last several weeks. In any situation, when you're faced with something new, we always have our first blush opinion, and you can be like, well, what about this? What about that? And you come from like, help me understand what's the context here, which just enables us to have a much better conversation. So I appreciate that. Any others? Any culture traits we want to highlight?
I'll say teamwork for Amanda. Amanda does an amazing job. She put the slideshow together. She always does. Anything anybody asks.
Yeah.
Integrity. I don't know. Is Stonegate?
They will be if they're not. Yeah.
Came through for me in a weird, complex situation and made a wrong situation right. So I'm really thankful for Stonegate.
Here. That's a good work. 1 or 2 more.
One. So Lynn. Lynn is becoming my sidekick, I think. We're in this massive creativity mode, which is like brain meetings, and but she's for her. I mean, yeah, I'd be off the road.
They've got the Grateful Dead playing back in there. It's kind of just like, what's happening back in that room? Yeah. Yeah, well, even if you're an independent agent, we like for you to think of when you're presenting yourself to a client, hey, when I talk about my team, I may not like have a sales team, but I got people in my corner that are helping me to be better. And when you do that at a really high level. So I second that. One more. I feel like I saw, Ms. Steiner.
Hey, Lynn too.
Oh, times 2.
She's phenomenal. I think that a lot of agents, when they come to a brokerage, they don't realize how much they need a technical support person. And every time I text her, within like seconds, she responds. And then I always like, oh yeah, and also can you help me with this too? I like add to the list, and she never like does anything but say, okay, we'll do, thank you. So
Yeah.
I thank her for being such a support system to everyone.
Yeah, and the knowledge she brings, not just how do we fix that problem, but how can I do what I'm trying to do? Well, it was Lynn Love Day. This is unplanned, but you can come back, Lynn. Got a handful of faces to welcome. Michael Bowling, who I don't believe is in the room. Britton Kirkpatrick, Ross May, who is in the room. Welcome, Ross. And then Stephanie Weston as well. So we're thrilled to have you all on in the last several weeks, and I think there's a few more that are coming in the next several days. So that's always good news. Cassandra, come on up. You're matching your slides, so that's just poignant.
I definitely see that.
Yes.
I'm Cassandra. If we haven't met yet, come say hi. Our profit share for February was 13,179.84, and year to date, we're at 32,394.64. And our February top producers are Andy Alamimi, Tina Bagnoli, Cindy Carpenter, sorry.
Yeah,
That's the
okay.
one I messed up. Carol Cooper, Mercedes Dunn, Jared Dutton, Val Espensheed, Amy Guthrie, Rachel Hogue, Samantha Hopper, Nikki Horvath, Ryan Jones, Tracy Jones, Scott and Lynette Killy, Alyssa Kingzett, Marcy Clee, Christian Lamb, Hannah Laps, Butch Mankowski, Kevin McCauley, Amy McConnell, Jose Medina, Jennifer Mucci, Talitha Mummerts, Melissa Sanford, Caitlin Shepherd, Daniel Schisler, Lance Trainum, Holly Van Riper, Christina Roberto, Stephanie Webb.
Nailed it. Good work. That was pretty good. First time, that was pretty darn good. Yeah, great work. February was a slow month in the market, in case you didn't see that or feel that. So that's great work. Again, for those who are newer, that's 3 deals or $500,000 in sales volume. So that's a big deal. Especially in a shortened month and especially in the market that we're beginning to see. One little PSA, just as we think about production, is we're bringing back, excuse me, the trip giveaway. We thought that was fun. Tom, I haven't seen him since he won it. I feel like he's just like sailing away on his riches, stretching that $2,500 value as far as it could go. But just as a reminder, for all agents who hit $60,000 in GCI in the calendar year of 2023, you're entered in the drawing for this trip giveaway. We're running it back. We thought that was fun last year, so get after it. In case you needed motivation to succeed, here's a little bit more. So we're excited to do that. Ms. Remark, come on down. Rocking the black and Matt, yes. Yes. Kayla and Matt. Welcome.
I just wanted to start out by thanking everybody for the warm welcome. You guys have kept me busy and I love it. I've loved getting to hang out in the main area and get to know you guys, your families, your businesses, had some really great lunches. So if you want to reach out, let's get lunch, let's get coffee. I want to learn about your business and how I can help. But I'm no longer in that area. If you want to find me, I'll be in the corner of my office. And just sit down. If you have a weird question or whatever, run past me. I'm in here Monday through Friday. So also available on weekends and the evenings. But I don't know if any of you saw the email. There was a big announcement in the last couple weeks about Keller Mortgage going away and Keller Home Loan is here to stay. We merged with Mutual of Omaha, which was huge. And I asked Matt if he could share a little bit about that merger to get you guys excited. I know I went into it with like, hey, you know, I've been through mergers before. What do they have to offer? And this last week we went through days and hours of Zoom trainings with all these benefits. And I'm really, really excited about what we're going to be able to add and value to your guys' businesses. So Matt's going to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, briefly. Thank you, by the way. So we are now Keller Home Loans. So welcome to Keller Home Loans. Literally the same company, just a different name. And all it really did was empower us to scale larger and faster than we were projected to before, because we're growing very quickly. Gary Keller himself couldn't do it on his own. He needed a little bit of help. We knew for the last 6 months or so, a little bit longer than that, that he was looking for an investor to come in and help us get to that level. And he met up with the Mutual of Omaha team. Obviously, Mutual of Omaha, they're a Fortune 100 company. They've been around for over 100 years. They have never allowed an outside vendor to partner with them in any venture. And Gary Keller himself as well has never allowed an outside vendor to come in and join with the Keller family of companies. So it's a first time venture for both sides. And right now it's going fantastic. So we have double the amount of products that we've had. If you thought that our pricing was amazing before, which it was, it's even better now. Just everything that we're doing right now is bigger and better than it was before. So we're very, very excited about this. It's a huge move in the positive direction. And Kayla's going to go over some of the amazing new products that we have that's going to help you grow your business as well.
So we have these newly rebranded flyers that have some of our offerings. I'll pass those around. If you don't want to take it, don't kill a tree, that's fine.
The tree's already been killed.
It'll be here down the road, I promise.
Its blood is on your hands.
I know.
It's mulberry trees. We got.
For their nuisance. No, okay. Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't get that. That's a real estate thing. So our 0+ loan is what we are known for. We're keeping that. It's 0 lender fees plus $1,000 credit. If you have clients who are sensitive to their cash to close and need help there, we have that still available through Keller Home Loan. But we also now have niche programs. So they're Mutual of Omaha love their veterans. They want to serve their veterans. They're waiving their lending fees even without the 0+ loan, but they have so many more benefits to your veterans. So we have those programs coming on. We also have government loans as low as 550. I'll say it again, 550 credit score for qualified buyers. So don't let, you guys are working too hard to get these deals in the pipeline today. Don't let them go down the road very easily, okay? I'd love to be your first call, but if I'm the second one, we'll get it together. We'll save that deal for you, but let them call me, let them talk to me about my programs, because, you know, even if they're not at that 550, we can do some credit coaching as well. Another benefit that we're really, really excited about is list reports. Has anybody heard of list reports? Okay, this is going to be free to the agents that use Keller Home Loan. This is no longer, it's going to pull your MLS information. As soon as you post that listing, I will have shareable content, beautifully put together content for your social media pages that you're going to be able to share out to those pages, but you're also going to be able to capture data from those posts. So lead generation, social media marketing, graphic design, all free to you. I'm really excited about that. Some more to come, but I know I'm at the end of my time.
I had something to that real
Yes.
quick. So that list reports, by the way, a lot of other places that I've been before where they've had list reports available, it was usually a shared expense between us and you. We're doing it completely free. It costs you absolutely nothing. And it's just going to propel your business to the next level as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And then one more thing, I do have a training on the 29th, so look for that, put it on your calendars. We're gonna have a lot of information, mortgage hacks we're gonna be sharing, and then obviously more benefits of Keller Home Loan. So if you don't have time to sit down with me individually, make sure you make it out on the 29th. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Good word. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about that mortgage hack seminar, and my vision for it, kind of Kayla and I together, is that it's something that you can come as though you're a client and prepared to then package the same thing for your client base. So come through the lens of how could I not sell a product as much as help them understand what their options are as it relates to mortgages, because that's the number one objection in this market, is it not? And so for us to be well equipped to handle that, the 29th, I forget the time, but noon one, it's on the calendar.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
Noon.
Yeah.
With the lunch.
Yeah, lunch beforehand. That's right. All right. Many of you are at least vaguely aware that family reunion was last week, 2 weeks ago. And we had a handful of folks go. And so we're going to do kind of a variety of things. We're going to hear from Rich, kind of breaking down Gary's state of the company, what's going on in the industry, and what should that mean for us. We're going to hear from a few agents that were there on a key takeaway or highlight, and then Christian Lamb is going to share a little bit more about how leads are everywhere and what you can do about that. So Rich, why don't you kick us off here?
Yeah, and I'll have you help a little bit, so in case I forget something or don't understand exactly what I'm looking at in a minute, but I have to tell you, we go to a lot of conferences, and this conference was amazing. If you have not been to family reunion, I know it's expensive. It is well worth the investment in your business, and I would say start saving now, put it $100 away a month or whatever. Get there next year because it's well worth your investment. So, I mean, we have plenty of people here that were there and can testify to that. So,
Well, next year it's in Vegas, so you pull the right slot and the trip's paid for, you know?
Get a cheap $100 flight and you'll be in good shape. All right, so we got a lot of slides in here, but basically the numbers that drive the US real estate economy. And if you were there, you get to hear about the Canadian real estate economy too, which is kind of neat to hear the difference between the two countries. But home sales, home prices, total market volume, inventory, mortgage rates, treasury spread, and affordability. We're not going to cover 6 and 7, but we will cover the other stuff. So go ahead. All right, so home sales annually, if you can take a look at this pink line across here is kind of where 2022 landed, which is pretty crazy because we thought during COVID, wouldn't it be amazing, like how many states shut down during COVID, and yet we still had 5.6 million sales and 6.1 million sales in 2020, 2021. But you can see that because inventory is low, of course, sales down. So we were only at 5 million. And this is really just a seasonal adjusted average. But basically where this line is, you can see where some months, we're up in some years. The average, we are still well below average. In fact, we haven't been there since May of 20.
Right.
So home prices, I think what's interesting about this slide is those of you that were in the real estate market clear back in 2004 through 2008, and you can see where we thought prices had increased. Well, they were up 21% above the 4% average, and that's what that kind of aqua line represents, is the 4% per year that the average house evaluation goes up, or property value. So the interesting thing about this is we feel like prices are through the roof over the last few years. We're only actually 12% above that line, which is pretty interesting, because back then I can tell you, if you were in the business, you didn't feel like prices were out of control. They were going up, but you didn't feel like we were on a runaway train. And so they're projecting, though, that we'll only be up just that, actually down just a little bit here, about $4,000 year over year from 2022 to 2023. So prices stabilizing a little bit, good stuff. Home prices here. So again, median home prices, this is the national average. So it may not be indicative of what's happening here in Northeastern Ohio, but it is throughout the country. And you can see that based over 2020 through 2022, the home prices have continued to increase. And as we see rates going up, that they're trying to curb inflation, it's just not working, unfortunately.
Right. They'll do it
Yeah.
until it does, right?
Still not enough houses. The annual appreciation, so again, this goes over the median house price, so kind of what you would see from 1990 to 2000, where it kind of averaged how much the value of a home went up. You can see during 01 to 05, we knew that that bubble was coming because they were going up very quickly to 12.4% there in 2005. And then, of course, we all felt that fall where it dropped in 2006 through 2011. So coming over here, though, for 12 through 19, we still had an increase here in 13 where prices went up and then kind of stabilized again. Now, we all felt this through in 21 where the price has gone up. This is that runaway roller coaster that we felt. Unfortunately, now here it is coming down. 2023, they're actually thinking that's going to be, we're not stabilizing. We might lose some value there for the first time in quite a long time.
Yep.
So total market volume, you can see that the volume is way down. This dotted line is a projected 2023 volume. And I think the interesting thing to point out here is we are at 1.6 million agents. You'll see on the next slide, I believe it is, where we're going to end up. Hopefully, we've gained a ton of agents in this last year and over the last couple of years, but this is just going to show, I think.
Should I go back to
So
that?
it might be the next one. Yeah, so this is just showing, though, again, where the dollar value in trillions is at for what we've actually sold, and you can see it's going down, which we've all felt. So inventory, again, inventory creeping up a little bit, which is a good thing here. So December of 2022 versus 2021, if we felt like 2020 and 2021, we had no inventory, we actually have a little bit more, even though there's nothing out there. So on the national, so I know, and that kind of crazy to think that we actually have more than we did before, and we still don't have anything.
Right.
So. This is just month over month. So again, you can see in December, we rose to 2.9 for inventory as a percentage compared to where we were starting in January at 1.6. So it is growing, even though we don't feel it yet. Good. Mortgage rates, of course, we all know what's happening in mortgage rates. Kayla can speak to that more than anybody here, but where are we at about right now? Are we gonna hit that 7-ish? Are we thinking the 7.81 is?
We've been holding at high sixes. I don't. It really just depends on the loan scenario, but yeah.
High sixes to low sevens, it's typically where, depending on the scenario, government loans are a little bit lower, kind of like mid sixes, FHA.
So I heard NAR is projecting that rates are going to be around 5.5 towards the end of the year. Don't know if that's really going to happen because it really depends on, you'll see in a couple slides, what's going on with the economy right now. But this is a little bit behind, as when it was printed, we were at 5.34. So.
Right.
Go ahead. Skip that one. We'll go to the next one. Skip that one. And that one.
We don't want to talk about quantitative easing.
Yeah, not my forte. So this is the slide I think that's really interesting is, so as we can tell, the real estate market has been so good, right? So people keep wanting to get into, real estate agents want to get in the market, and you're having more and more people going to school. Well, if you look at this in a time frame from 2013 to now, we've had what, 580,000 agents get into the business because it just keeps going up. That trend is probably not going to continue as the market goes down. But the interesting thing about this is, you know, we're all fighting for the business that we have. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep going back to the basics. Do everything that you normally would do. You will make it through this market. It is shifting, but you will make it through.
I regularly get asked, which didn't happen a year and a half ago, but I regularly get asked by unlicensed folks, is this a bad time to get into real estate? Like, well, that depends. Do you plan on working or not? And nobody asked that question a year and a half ago. I can't get my license fast enough because I just hear it's so good. The question's coming a lot more, but that answer is going to be true regardless of the market cycle, because there's a lot of people that don't work in this industry.
It's like when a seller asks, "This is a good time to sell?" Of course it is. It's a perfect time to sell. No matter what time of year it is. And volume per agent, again, you can see that this is down, and obviously for good reason, because there are so many agents getting in the business that there's plenty of business to go around, but those agents that will focus on what you need to focus on, keep back, like I said, to your basics. Don't stop spending money on your advertising. You have to pull back on some things, but keep doing what you're doing to get that business, because this is actually going to get a larger spread. Those agents that aren't doing the work and are not putting in the time, they're going to fall out and not actually be here probably in a year or two for that. And listing with price drops. When was the last time? It was so interesting. About 2 months ago, I think I had somebody in class and they said, "I need to reduce the price of a house. How do we do that?" Okay, well, let's go back to that, since we haven't had to do that forever, right? I mean, we haven't had to reduce the price of a house in a long time, but you can see that, you know, from January of 21, you know, we really didn't have to do that, but 2022, boy, we are really starting to have to reduce those prices. So when you're going out and doing those CMAs, make sure you're really paying attention, and maybe not even so much the last 6 months, but the last 3 months or 2 months, because those prices have come down.
Well, and I would say prices have come down a little bit, but seller acknowledgement of reality has gone up. Because I think in those peak months, you know, last summer, no, it's still good. And it's like, well, it's not bad, but we need to price competitively. And I think the average seller wasn't in line with reality. Whereas now it's okay, what do I need to do to sell my house?
Yeah, I think, what was it, the analogy they used, and I know nothing about sports or hockey, but what was it? Who was it that they say, like, you know, you want to go to where the puck
Where the
is-
puck's going.
where the puck's
Yeah.
going, not where you're at with the puck. So whoever was that, Wayne
Gretzky.
There you go. Look, I got one.
Yeah.
Call me
Sport point. Coming up next, trivia.
You don't want me on that list. New listing inventory. So obviously, again, we know that new listings are way down, but it's interesting to see how high they actually got, and we still felt like there was no inventory. Go ahead and go to the next one. Distressed home sales, quite interestingly enough, again, if you were not in the business back then, you don't realize, like, every other house you showed back then was a distressed property, right? We haven't had that in forever, and they're still saying it's going to be under 1% in 2022. We're not even projecting 2023 yet, because there's so many things in the economy that could happen. But nobody's really underwater, which we'll go to the next slide.
Right.
There's nobody underwater. This would be the 6% average, is what we typically see for homes underwater. We are well below that at 1.9. So we're going to see a while before we start to probably see those foreclosures and stuff happening. And then the student loan debt. You know, I kind of wanted to bring this up too. So Kayla, they are still using student loan debt against you as to get a mortgage, correct?
They do count a payment even if there's no payment in place, but they've cut what we have to count, they've cut that payment in half.
Okay.
So we have conventional mortgages where we can actually count 0.5% of the outstanding balance, and then government is half.
So it's kind of crazy though, because actually millennials are the ones that are buying houses, and you have those first time home buyers, right? Well, they are saddled with a ton of debt. So it really does make a difference on how much money they can borrow and how much house they can buy. So keep that in mind when you're talking to those first time home buyers, that student loan debt can come in to kind of hurt a little bit. And then the last thing, it's not all doom and gloom. You know, we're very profitable. I will tell you, our market centers have been in the top over the last few months as far as profit share. So it's great. You guys are seeing those checks, and as long as you keep doing what you're doing, we'll be in good shape. But things that they're forecasting for 2023, basically just saying inflation's not under control yet. They keep rising the interest rates to get that under control, which unfortunately is going to put some people out of work. They're projecting about 2 million people are going to lose their jobs as they continue to raise interest rates. So little scary there. You've got the political tension with China, all these wonderful balloons flying over our country. And just environmental concerns, like we just saw actually a train derailment rather here right in Ohio. And I mean, that's really gonna affect the surrounding homes and the values and those people trying to move or people moving into there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in the world.
I talked with an agent who's more out that way just last week, and a notable agent in that area was speaking to the news and basically said, like, he overplayed its impact on real estate. And she was kind of like, you're not helping us here. Like, people can still live here. And he kind of had an alarmist message that was unhelpful, but like, yeah, scary news causes people to slow down.
Yeah.
And that's in our backyard.
Yeah, and we definitely, don't be an alarmist. Just because you're hearing all these things in real estate that the market's gonna tank or whatever, you can see whether the market is not tanking. We don't have enough houses to fill people, right? And I think the statistic was we'd have to build for like 18 or 16 years straight just to even get out of this, which we're not gonna be able to do. So,
Mhm.
I think on the Ohio, the derailment thing, I mean, is there anything we need to know to like not overstep like any laws? Like I had a client just yesterday asked me like, oh, I don't know if I want to move to Ohio anymore or buy land in Ohio anymore because of this. And I just kind of said, well, I'm not an expert, but like as a parent, I'm not like worried about it, but like I didn't really want to overshare like.
Scripting around that
Yeah.
conversation.
yeah, I mean, that could be something we put together, but I mean, you wanna be the source of the source. I haven't seen anything that says Ohio is a terrible place to
Yeah.
build or buy.
Aside from the usual stuff.
Yeah.
I said like that's supposed to be like California, like if there was a fire in Sacramento, did that affect me in the Bay Area? Well, depend on the wind. So like I said, I'm not an expert, but like, I don't know, this one.
Yeah, the health department's handling that in that county. The Ohio Realtors, they sent out something for that, just to kind of give you an idea of what to say, and it's leading everybody back to the health department.
Okay.
Would you mind dropping that on our Facebook page?
Sure.
That'd be great. Because that is, we may not feel it as much as folks in Youngstown do, but for us to be prepared to answer that question. Is good.
So moral of the story is inventory is down, business is still good, keep going. And that's it.
Focus on the basics. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, guys.
We'll drop it on the Facebook page, but Gary's vision speech, which is like a 3-hour thing, but it's well worth the time. And these slides, of which there's 3 times as many as we went through. If you're someone who's like, I'm not an economist, I don't think about these things, I would challenge you to still be authentic to yourself, but you have clients that want some insight as it relates to these questions, even if you're not wired this way, for us to be prepared to interact with what's happening in our world, what's happening in our economy, and what's the impact on whether they're looking to buy or sell. Don't avoid it just because numbers freak you out. And if you want to like go deeper, talk with me, talk with Rich, like how can I break this down to a level that's true to me and helpful for my clients? Glad to be a resource to you in that regard. All right, I have tapped Melissa Steiner and then Melissa Sanford, who I believe is here, and Tina Bagnoli to share kind of an added takeaway or two. So Melissa, since you're in the room, I'm going to have you go first, then Tina, and then Melissa Sanford after that.
So if you guys are wanting to go to family reunion, like Rich said, this is probably the most like beneficial event that is held every year. Top 3 reasons I go is number 1, you get to network with a lot of other Keller Williams agents from all over the world. So that's number 1, and that helps your referral network. Christian Lamb, he was collecting people's names nonstop. Number 2, the connection that you get with some of the agents that are from our brokerage, where we go out, we hang out. Just bettering those relationships. I mean, birds of a feather flock together. So if you want to have a successful business, it's so important to stay in contact and get connected and actually have friendships with people that are also doing the same thing as you. And honestly, when I go to family reunion, it's probably the only time of the year that I feel normal, because I'm on my laptop, on my phone, and other agents are all doing the same thing. So I'm like, okay, these people make me feel normal. And then number 3, of course, is all of the breakout sessions they have. They do different things that are tailored for your business that you get to choose from. And then the motivational speakers, and of course, Gary Keller, which just to highlight real quick with Gary Keller, what he said Basically, we need to be like buffaloes and we need to charge the storm. And other animals, other people, they want to run. We don't want to run. We don't want to sit by the sidelines. This is a time that, yeah, the market is shifting, but like Rich said, the market is still good. So we need to charge towards the storm and keep going forward. And then number two, we need to have the long-term mindset, an evergreen mindset, which means that that change is inevitable and the economy has cycles, and we need to do this for the long game. So when you're talking to clients, they might not be ready right now, but you know what? Get them in your database, keep following up with them, keep doing what you're doing, building relationships, and long-term, you're gonna come out and you're gonna gain market share. And then 3, don't wish it away. I know a lot of people say, oh, I just wish this time would pass. I just wish interest rates would go down. No, this is the time that the strong will survive. This is the time that we do our activities that are going to determine our success. It's not the market. So use this time to really build the foundation of your business and keep in contact with your database and building relationships with new people. And then number 4, do more. Which the main things, positive mindset, continue play offense, listen more than ever, live outside your comfort zone, focus on what you can control, which is your attitude, your actions, and your activities, and then live with certainty in uncertain times. And biggest thing, run after what you love. Don't run away from fear, but run towards it. So
That'll preach.
just some highlights.
Thanks, Melissa.
Everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Tina, are you able to show us your face? There you are.
Am I
How's
there?
it going?
That's wonderful, wonderful. Well, how do I follow up with that? Wow. My takeaways were just being around the energy of all the great agents that are with Keller Williams. My takeaway was Molly Fletcher was one of the speakers, and what an amazing speech she had. And I actually follow her now on Facebook, and she gets me going in the morning. So if anybody has an opportunity to watch Molly Fletcher, please do. She's just an amazing, amazing inspiration. The other takeaway I have, and this is Lynn, it's all about you, is I focused on the tech sessions, and I found out that our market center is above and beyond everything that they were teaching at these sessions. Lynn is already covered for free in our own backyard. So take advantage of what Lynn has to offer and what Keller Williams has for our tech. The third thing that I took away was the investment aspect of our business. And I'm really starting to focus on starting my investments, purchasing some properties. It really had me fired up and starting that next step and researching. And I'm hoping to have something purchased within the next 3 months. So it was great for my own business.
You intend to, Tina. You intend to, right?
Yes, I am going to. That's going to happen.
There is no try.
Yes, it is going to happen.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I asked each of them for one thing. We gotten 4 from Melissa, 3 from Tina. Let's see if Sanford can follow directions or not. Thanks, Tina. Melissa Sanford.
Yeah, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I'm trying to start my video, but I don't know if it's working because I'm on my phone.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, I missed what Melissa Steiner said, but my biggest takeaways from family reunion were just because we do transactions doesn't mean we're transactional. And that was from Molly Fletcher. And it's just doubling down on what you're good at and loving on your sphere more and your past clients. And they reminded us of when COVID happened and we just did care calls, how much business that probably brought in for everybody. And so, you know, don't always be like, hey, who do you know that can buy, sell, and invest in real estate? Sometimes it's just how are you? Want to go get a coffee?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, Melissa has identified with her team, oh, here's some things that we are doing well. How can we do them more personally? Oh, we can send the card or we can handwrite the card. Just getting a little bit more personal and intentional should yield dividends in a shifting market. Thanks, guys. All right. Now we'll invite Lionel Richie up. I just found this one and it just felt right. Christian. Hello. You kinda-
Finish it.
I'll do the whole song if you want me to. My kids testify. Yeah, Christian has stepped up and it's been fun to see your, I would say, seismic growth in the last couple of years. Christian is one of the most learning-based people that I know, but also is like, okay, now what am I going to do with it? So I asked him to teach on something that he's very comfortable with. And he's like, no, I've taught on that before. I want to stretch myself. I'd rather teach on something that I'm trying to do better, which is a great way to do it. So take it away, Christian.
Yes.
I'll be your slide guy.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Lamb. I have to tone this back a little bit. I know a lot of you haven't been trained by me or anything, but I'm very high intensity. So Jess is filming our 30-day live video challenge that we do for Facebook every day. We are on day 19 today, I believe. So thanks for doing that, Jess. Leads are everywhere. We're going to talk about what to do if you're not getting the calls coming to you and the leads aren't coming to you, how to find them. So here's what you need to know. If you're a fan of Gary Keller or the MREA, you're understanding the 8x8 is 8 touches to a just met lead over 8 weeks. 33 touch plan is what you put the bulk of your Met database in as a regular touch plan. 33 touches over the course of the year minimum. Met contact to your database a day will take you where you need to be to become as successful as you'd like. Your success at doing this will always boil down to the value that you add to other people's lives. We've all heard that those who win the mindshare battle tend to get the business. Coca-Cola, Pepsi. The most memorable way to meet people is through in-person contact. In the MREA,
Say that again, because I think a lot of people, what graphic could I put? We spend 3 hours perfecting a graphic to post on Facebook that our mom and 6 friends like. And not that that's not a valid thing, but that what you just said is always true. And I would say particularly true right now.
Yeah, a face-to-face introduction will always outweigh a text message, photo on Facebook, a social media post. Live video might be the second best way. So 1,920 nets to your database equals $1 million a year in DCI. So that means that they run through your 8x8, and then that's also the most commonly forgotten part of the MREA. People forget to do the 8x8. Page 146, by the way. And then the 33 touch after that, which is including DTB2 calls, the 4 quarterly calls. Meaning if your Met database is about the size of mine, 250 people, I subtract that away from 1,920, 1,670. Here's how long it'll take me to ramp up to millionaire real estate agent if I had 1 person to my Met database per business day. 1 person a day, it takes 6.5 years to become a millionaire real estate agent. 2 people a day, 3.7 years, and then 3 people a day. If you're really aggressive, you can have 2.5 years away. So here's your tip. Get all the people in your Met database that haven't been through it on your 8x8, if you never did. So what's your guys' attitude? Most businesses are shrinking. Big thing at Family Reunion was that in 2021, I think 133,000 agents joined the market. 2022, 30 or 23,000 joined the market.
Hmm.
And then this year alone, 33,000 agents have left the market already. So more agents have left the market this year alone already than joined all last year.
Wow.
Are you sitting back and waiting for your one potential Met to call you and ask to go on a showing? Here's what I believe. If you move fast, you'll get results. Social media is a really great place to start growing your sphere. And here's my bit on social media. If you have 1,500 friends on Facebook, how many of them do you actually know personally? And are on your 33 touch, name, email, phone number. So if you set a goal to meet 5 people from your Facebook friends list a week, you might be able to go to their work and use their services. That's typically public. Lunch at whatever restaurant they work at and say hello. It's not weird. You could even pick up a Facebook Messenger call and be like, hey, what's up? And see if they pick up. Find a way that you can get their email or cell number. So here's a script you can use. The attitude is surprised, then delighted. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you picked up. I see your stuff all the time and I'm like, I need to meet this person. So it's good to talk to you. I'm Christian. Do that. And then after.
Pause.
Well, you guys talk, you guys, the conversation just goes. And hey, I'm getting ready to host an event and I think you and your family would really love it. Can I grab your email to send you the information? Or provide some type of potential value that you could then ask to send it over via text or email. Then later on, message them and be like, I forgot to ask, what's your name or phone number or email, whatever you didn't get before. So that's my bit. This is not all about social media. It's about adding that Mets to your database. So what can we do to get strangers into Mets? This is for really intense people. The people who really want to go out and get it. Not for everybody. So when you're wanting to be in a relationship with somebody, a question you should always prioritize above all rapport building activities is, what can I do for them? How can I help them? I believe everybody out there can benefit from having a better day. Wouldn't you agree?
100%.
Yeah. So how can you make everybody's day better? Smile. Sorry, smile. When you make eye contact with somebody and they see a smile, they remember it. It goes deeper though. Whenever somebody is alone in public and they laugh at something or they see somebody doing something out of the ordinary, they look up and they're like, seeing if anybody else noticed it. When they see you smiling, eye contact. So you've connected with this person at some level at this point. Would you agree? So if they felt a connection with you from that eye contact, they'll end up looking at you again. If they do it again, you get up, walk straight over to them, and you say, hey, what's up? I'm Christian. I'm your friend. Networking is a little bit like dating. It just is. So don't make it weird. The goal is for them to feel safe opening up to you. This is where you leverage all your conversation skills, use Ford, have a good year of always finding ways to help. Are you working on any big projects around the house? Do you have any trips planned this year? Use these types of questions to get their name, email, phone number, appointment, whatever it may be. How? Always think about how you can make their lives easier. We are a resource as realtors, and we are much better connected than most people, period. The goal within so yeah, that's everything.
I think this might seem like one of two things. Either so simple, duh, or that's not for me because I'm an introverted person or whatever. And I think to the point you made a second ago, like, hey, are you committed or not? That's the question. I think it's easy to make the personality excuse. And at the same time, I know a lot of highly successful introverted people. And so I'm projecting that doesn't mean that there's not stuff that you need to work through and to gain confidence in those interactions. But we just did it the other day. So this was unplanned. I had there was a recruit walking through and Christian pops out, and a normal person might be like, oh, hey, good to meet you. Like, you like charged over there, like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Christian. And I'm your friend. And that's a John Maxwellism, in case you guys haven't heard that. John Maxwell says that to everybody. And I think the question is, are you committed to growing your database or not? Because we can try posting the graphics, not that posting the graphics is a bad thing, but as you think about the gas station, the grocery store, like, it doesn't take much to make a connection with people, but most of us don't do it. Most of us don't do it. Let's be real. Yeah, Erica.
I'll share a quick story as a non-realtor and an introvert. I was once at the grocery store and everyone knows that person that you pass in every single aisle going the opposite direction.
Yep.
And every time we passed each other, we smiled at each other. And some might think that sounds creepy, but it wasn't. It was really super pleasant. So much so that I went out into the parking lot to load my groceries into my car. I saw him, went up to him, introduced myself, handed him my business card and just said, like, you have such a nice smile. I really appreciate your attitude today. Like, you made my day.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up sending me an email and now we're friends on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. You just never know. Well, and when you're at a networking event, you know, any sort of event in the community, Facebook friending, finding a reason to follow up and then getting their info from there, like, it's not rocket science, but most of you don't do it. Like, let's just be real. Most of your databases don't reflect that you're doing this. And so you can or you can't, it's your choice.
Yeah,
Any
so-
parting thoughts?
Yeah, so there's a slide missing from here.
That's on me.
However, the goal within our team is to grow and become creative. We have a goal to sell 150 homes this year. However, we need to add 2 more sales agents to achieve our goals and future goals. So let's discuss let's connect to discuss how we can have income and sales guarantees.
Thanks, Christian.
Thank you.
Lynn. Ouch. She's crushed under the weight of all the praise we're giving her today.
So in case you don't want to get arrested, because I don't think that would work for me, KW has put out playbooks on how to do things such as online leads. If you haven't seen them, I have a Facebook link on the feature page of Legacy page. It's a 20-minute video if you want to watch it on anything new and upcoming with tech. And there's also right below it, if you click on it, it's a link to all these. And it's also a link to all the one pagers. So over the last year, KW has done a school is cool, and they give you a 1-page how-to. So those are all in that folder as well. So it might be worth checking out. If you haven't seen it, these playbooks, take a look. It's step by step. It's going to tell you what you want to know. Why would I do this? Why? What's it going to cost me? And then it's going to show you how I do this. So it's step by step, and they're really awesome. And KW keeps coming out with more. They have 8 right now. There's more coming. So I'm very excited about this. Some of the features in there aren't live yet, such as you can't run TikTok ads. You can't run some of the dynamic ads yet, but it's coming. You can still, if you didn't know how to run a Instagram ad, you didn't know how to run a Facebook ad, it's in there. The playbook will show you how to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you have questions, just reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do it. Once this stuff goes live as a whole, I'm going to start doing classes on it. That way everyone can get it when I get it. Fun time.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you. Our friends at Stonegate. I think I saw Brian back there. Andrea, come on. We're here. Yeah, let's do it. Hello.
So, all right.
All right. Wow. Hey man, how are you? How are you? Good. Good to see you. All right, take it away.
All right, so faces, and we wanted to take the opportunity to introduce them to you. Obviously, you guys know Sam and I, but these are some of our new folks. So this is Zach McCartney, Tina Sleuth, Melissa Huff, and Missy Reisling. And of course, you guys know our owner, Brian Moore, who's
See you all.
our big guy over there. Big kahuna, if you will.
Large. I think it is. It's not, I'm not overweight, I'm just not tall enough.
You guys have seen some new communication come out from us, on our team, and we wanted you guys to be able to meet them in person and see their faces and, be able to say hi, and we wanted to talk about, some of the new things, that we have going on. So Brian was gonna take a minute to share,
Yep.
some of our reasons why, what we got going on.
Yep. And the only reason I get to talk is because Sam has lost her voice. She doesn't normally hand off the mic to me ever. So thank you, Sam, for, sounds like she's crying every time a syllable comes out, but she's okay today, I think, right? Emotionally. Good. Okay. Thanks for having us, guys. It's good to see you all. We have had a lot of adjusting over the last year with the market change, some staffing changes you've seen. Our biggest reason for doing that is we're always trying to pursue the best team, high quality, really good communication. We have a couple actual transfers from one of our sister companies and really feel like we've raised the talent level in our company. So Charles and Courtney have been here forever, and they are mainstays, but we've added some new mainstays. So Tina and Zach, here we go. We're actually at one of our other companies, and we have competed against them for years up in the Akron market, and they finally joined our team a little over a year ago-ish. And then it worked out well to come be a part of Stonegate. So it was a real talent add to Stonegate. We're really pleased to have you guys. Melissa also worked at a sister company of mine, and has just crushed it. One of the things Melissa does so well is rapid fire communication. It is probably the most important thing we can do is rapid fire communication. When you have something, you need something, even if you don't have the answer, you need to know we're working on it. Melissa has crushed it year over year doing that. You reach out to her, she will get something to you really fast. Just the priority for us is service. Is the two most important things to us is serving your clients every single day, communicating with you, and then our partnership, helping support the business that you guys are running. Maybe a slight encouragement. I was listening to the economic part. There are factors out there that we have to be aware of. Some risks out there in the market that are out of our control. We were pleasantly surprised, however, we just closed our financials for January and February. We were 5% ahead on revenue and 50% ahead on profit this year already at Stonegate. So the revenue piece is, that was over last 2021 or 2022, which 2021, 2022 for us were neck and neck as far as what a great year they were. So we've had some record years. If you've been in this business for at least 3 years, you've had record years. If you've been in longer, those are still your record years. So we're really pleased to see that the market is doing that. And we're in probably 5 different markets from Akron, Cleveland, Canton, Columbus, and even in Florida. We are seeing a really nice, consistent increase coming across our markets and volume of transactions. The dollars are very consistent from last year. So I think kind of what was being said earlier, really push hard on these opportunities to network. The deals are coming. Be ready for them, pick up those phones, number one thing, pick up that phone, pick up your email. So we're taking it serious on our side to make sure we have a really prep team for you. That's what this is. It's the most important thing we can do is possibly just have the right team who cares about what they're doing. And we're just really proud to have this group. So thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just one wrap up. If you are not a partner with us, we would love to have a conversation with you guys. We work with so many of you and we are so thankful for your partnership and we love working with you guys. Reach out to Sam, reach out to me. If it's something that you guys are interested in and want to take that next step, let us know because we want to share with you how we can do that. So,
We have tons of tools too. If you're not using some of the tools we have, call Andrea or Sam, use them. They're for your text. Yeah. Are you crying? Yes.
Awesome.
That's all we got. Thank you all.
All right, we're rounding third. Eric, come on up.
Hey, I just wanted to take a minute. I asked Mark if I could, and that's just really to talk about RPAC. And RPAC is the Realtor Political Action Committee. And quite honestly, I've been in real estate about 4.5 years and didn't really understand what it was, even though Rich would talk about it at several meetings, just talk about RPAC. But I got involved with it through being part of the Realtor Leadership Academy, and I was part of the committee last year for RPAC. And I really took a passion for it. And at the end of the year, Kayla, before she left, asked me if I would be the RPAC committee chair for STAR. And I accepted that. And just really, who was selling real estate during COVID? So maybe about half. Who was thankful that we could still work and earn money during COVID? So part of that was through having a voice at the table through our elected officials, and having a chance to say we are essential to our communities, to our state, to our to continue to work and be there. Michigan was not able to do that. Pennsylvania was not able to do that. And that's just one of probably the most important pieces with that. Personal property rights. You know, not allowing a city, a township to say, you can't do this with your investment property, or you can't do this with your house anymore. So it's just really about having a voice and having a seat at the table. And a lot of them will say, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And even sometimes you're both on the menu, even though you're at the table. So it's just really about having a voice, and there's lots of ways that we can do that. And that's really investing in RPAC. And 33% of STAR last year invested in RPAC in some way. So they gave $15. Is your business worth $15 to you? Because if every agent in the state, in the area gave $15, we would have more than we would need to support RPAC appropriately. But not everybody does, not everybody sees the need. So do you see the need to do that? Would be just kind of like a rhetorical question. It's no different than buying a football card, a soccer card from a high school person that would come. I would buy whoever came to me and probably never even use half of them. And it's just really an investment in your business to continue to do business the way you are. I brought the flyer here for the RPAC auction. I'm going to post some more information online. I know we don't have a lot of time right here to kind of talk about certain things, but going to dinner there, you pay $25, you're going to be able to see the Dutton's auction like they do for our desserts. So they did it last year, they're going to do it this year. If you want to go, I'll buy a ticket for you. I mean, you know, if you need somebody to buy a ticket for $25, I will buy it to let you go just to see what's there. So I want to have some one-on-ones with you guys. I'd love for you to reach out to me. I'll reach out to some of you. But you can also talk with Rich. He's well versed at it. Linda as well.
I was just gonna say, if I can, great food, if the place spends anything to you, it is a good clip out, so carpool. The packages that they were auctioning last year were amazing. There was a trip, a safari to Africa. Art Lingenholm donated a side of beef. I mean, there's high end, a little lower end for us paupers. But it's a good time.
Yeah. So I also am going to attach just a list of suggested items that you guys could help donate, or you can use that as an investment to help us raise some money for RPAC. So it's an investment in your business. And I think if you can just think of it that way, is it worth $100 to you a year to keep doing business the way you're doing? I'll leave it at that. I'd love to meet with you guys one-on-one and really explain more of why this is important, why that's important. We don't have time here right now, but thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Derek. All right, almost there. Speaking of essential, Sophia, why don't you tell us about the things that are essential in your world?
Hi, everybody. I love what Christian said. Everything is better face to face, obviously. But branding yourself on social media is very important. Just for the simple fact now that everything is online, you'll meet these people and the first thing they do is go online to see what you're about. And I actually had someone tell me, I know 5 realtors and none of them post about real estate. Like, how do I know they know what they're doing? And she said, I went to your page and you post little things that you go to restaurants and you give a review and you post things about real estate. And she said, I didn't know what an appraisal was until I went to your page. So it's just small things that people see that grab their attention. Of course, when it's new people and I boost an ad and I get new people, I will always discuss with them and start a conversation with them. And then I'll inbox them and say, hey, do you want to go have some coffee? Just so we can meet, even if you don't have any real estate needs. And I've done that with some people, and believe it or not, because they found me on social media, they'll refer people to me. And I feel like that's so important to work both ends of it. Obviously, in person is always A1, but making sure that you're getting out there to see people and meet people social media wise and boost ads for people that don't know you. That's how they get to know you. And that's how you make that introduction and you interact on those posts. If somebody comments on it, don't just leave it there. Comment back and say, oh, did you like that? Or that's really cool, isn't it? And, go into detail and build a relationship with that person, because then you're getting outside your comfort zone of just the people that follow you on social media. You're meeting other people that way. And for the people that do sign up for the program, we're going to start giving scripts so they can do video and reels. And I know people get nervous doing that, but if you record it privately and then you post it, you didn't do it in front of 5,000 people. You know what I mean? You're doing it and then you're sharing it with 5,000 people, which is very different. I think a lot of people shy away from video because they're like, oh my God, I'm going to stutter and, things like that, where it's like, we're going to edit it, we'll fix it, you can post it, and everybody's looking at it like it's so flawless, even though it took you 3 takes. They don't know that. So just some things to remember. Essential Leverage is there for your benefit. We want to make sure that you're getting out of your comfort zone and you're meeting people that are outside of your sphere and outside of your normal, 2,000 people that follow you on Facebook. You want to get out there, you want to broaden that so you're getting more people. And, it's always nice to follow up with the people you do know, because you want them to tell other people as well. So.
Awesome. Appreciate it. If anyone has any marketing related needs, Essential Leverage MKTG@gmail.com.
That's right.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you so much. Mhm.
All right, Mercedes. Because the soup's hot.
Because we're over time, so I apologize, but April 8th, like Christian talked about, touching your sphere is super important, and this gives them an event to touch your sphere with. It's a free event for you. Bring a table, bring your chairs, whatever you want to set up, give to your sphere, give to the people there. Guthrie Group gave out hot chocolates last year. We raffled baskets. We have food trucks coming, photos with the Easter Bunny. We partnered this year with North Canton JCs because we planned a Easter egg at the same time they did last year. And they didn't have very many people show up. So they asked if we would partner with them this year because we had a big turnout last year. So we are partnering with them. It's going to be at the ball fields across from Dogwood Pool. If you're going to set up, you need to be there by at least 9 because the event starts at 10. Preferably 8:30, but if you can't get there at 8:30, 9 o'clock is your latest, okay? But again, you bring your own tables, your own tablecloths, whatever you want to do to set yourself apart from other agents there so people can come to your table. That's a big important thing. Like last year, I raffled off a lotto basket and I gathered a ton of contacts of people just for raffling it off. And I've been touching spheres with them since, and it got some leads. So I recommend highly coming because it's a free event for you to touch your spirit, so.
And maybe the weather will be better this year. We still had like 500 people in the pouring rain last year. It was remarkable.
Great.
Last
Thanks.
little commercial, just a reminder, awards night's coming up in 2-ish weeks. Amanda and I kind of finalized some things the other day. It's gonna be super fun. So if you're not sure if you're able to make it, if you're signed up and not, please let us know, because we do have other people that would like to come. But we are sold out at this point. Anything else that I need to hit there?
Yeah, I'm gonna send out a web note before you go, email, the week of, it'll have like directions and it'll be easier to find than last year, and they should have signage up directing you to get there. Tours, if you signed up to take a tour, meet where the event is, because somebody will be waiting to get you. Go take you on the tour.
Bust out your corduroy suits. We are doing the Best Dressed Awards again this year. Doing it a little bit different than last year, but easy. All right, Amanda, what do we need to know? For those that are here and not on Zoom, we're doing an amazing soup cook-off. We have 9 soups. The winner gets a $100 Amazon gift card. Who wouldn't want that? So what do we need to know?
No rules or anything. There's soup stations sent out and there's cards telling you what they are. So go to whatever one you want first. There's little cups. Get your favorite one. Vote. I think we'll start counting votes at like 12:30.
How do I vote?
There's a piece of paper and pen out there. We'll write it down.
You just write down your favorite?
Right, yeah, there's numbers on the soup. So
Okay.
like number 1, write it down.
Okay.
Count at like 12:30.
Okay, cool, awesome. Thanks for several extra minutes. Appreciate you all. Yeah, go in peace.
Mark? Hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, sure can.
Did you read my chat about, I wasn't sure, I was kind of in and out, I apologize with the meeting today, I'm over to patient's home. But I had a discussion with Rich about an incident on Realtor.com lead that hit me and Michelle. Is that touching time?
Oh, hang on a second.
All right.
Hang on a second. I lost your volume for a second there. All right, try that again.
I had reached out to Rich because there was an incident with a Realtor.com lead.
We did not talk about a Realtor.com lead, Carlan, but I will give you a call because I'm not aware of that situation, and we can talk more about it and communicate with everybody else as necessary.
It's pretty serious. So Rich had mentioned that he was going to bring it up in the meeting, so I wasn't sure if he had.